going to pop over to the Facebook page because it says we're live.
Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Just give me one moment while I check some technical stuff. Oh, wonderful. Oh, look at that.
I see us.
That's awesome. Fabulous, fabulous. So it looks like it's up. Wonderful. Okay. Yeah.
Yay.
All right. That is off. Okay. So back on StreamYard. So welcome, everyone. This is Anastasia Papanicolaou with One Cosmic Heart. I am starting up my Healing with Anastasia series again. The last time I did this was August. I didn't realize it had been so long ago. So this will be a 3-part series. This is day 1, part 1. We will meet tomorrow live. So that's Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And then Tuesday night, same thing, 7 p.m. Eastern time. And we have one of our friends here. So Dawn is here. Hi, Dawn. Thanks for joining us. So today, before I have Melissa introduce herself, today we're going to be focusing on SuperConnection and dowsing and clearing. We will probably look at some limiting beliefs. When I work with SuperConnection, I oftentimes will look at a past life and or ancestral clearing. So some of that may all come up today for Melissa. And I'm going to have her introduce herself. And we have worked together. So I've known Melissa for about 1 or 2 years or so. And we have worked together before, just so that people know. I know the work that she does. She's familiar with the work that I do. When I say we've worked together, we've both experienced each other's work. And I will pass it off to you. You can introduce yourself and let people know what you're bringing to the table, what you want to look at today.
Yeah. Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for this opportunity. Hey, everyone. I'm Melissa Kimberly. I kind of live comfortably in 2 different worlds, if you will. So I am a virtual assistant, and I am also an intuitive coach, psychic, and Akashic Records practitioner. So I very much am grounded into the human experience and the 3D world, and then also float around in the ethereal world as well. So that's a little bit about me. What Anastasia and what I had shared with her, and what we're kind of going to focus on today. And if there is something that you feel, Anastasia, that we talked about yesterday, that's like a key point that I don't bring up, like, please bring it up. It's just that my memory probably has escaped me, as opposed to not wanting to share, because I'm fine being transparent. So about 1.5 years ago, I left my full-time, long-term corporate job to step fully into my business. And the last 18 months have been me riding the financial struggle bus pretty intensely. That transition, really what I did was just flip over the rock to expose the mud and the muck and the worms and the grime and the bugs and the death underneath it. And yeah, so I really have literally and spiritually and emotionally been financially struggling for the last 18 months. And I, being a practitioner myself, have done a lot of work in trying to better understand my beliefs, my limiting beliefs, to work through releasings and clearings, just really developing some self-awareness and helping myself out. And I've made some significant progress, and I will share what I mean by that in a second. But there's still some residual stuff, right? Isn't that always the case? What I have noticed is that kind of 2 things. Opportunities, if you will, for me to have to pay considerable lump sums amount of money continue to present themselves. I owe a boatload of money in taxes, and I thought I was prepared. So this wasn't just me walking into the tax year naive. Like, I was prepared. I owe a boatload of taxes. My dog recently, she's fine, but she needs surgery. That's a big chunk of change. Those are just some small examples. So opportunities keep presenting themselves where I have to pay thousands of dollars. What I have noticed is that when those situations arise, it does not send me into a tailspin and a tizzy like it used to. I definitely have like, wow, this really stinks moments for sure. But I can see it with a lot more emotional neutrality than I did in the past. And pretty quickly can be like, well, it is what it is. And what am I going to do to try to resolve this? Right. So that's where I've noticed the work that I've been doing on my own has helped. It's less triggering and debilitating for me. However, the opportunities to pay for things that I don't necessarily want to be spending my money on continue to present themselves, and the financial wellness of my life and my money situation has not necessarily improved.
Yeah.
Do you think I shared that? Like, after, we talked yesterday, do you think I captured that well?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That's what I have from yesterday. And that also you are able to pay, even though. So one of the keywords that I wrote down that I didn't hear you say yesterday, but I wrote down is these are unexpected expenses.
Correct.
These aren't things that are planned. It's like, oh crap, I go to the vet, there's an issue, there's a big bill. Taxes, you might have been prepared to pay something, but not the amount that your person told you. Your tax person said you owe X.
Mhm.
So these are unexpected, and we'll say unexpected large sums because it's not
Yeah.
$20 or $100.
And the way that the pattern rolls in is about the time that I catch my break from the last one, something else pops up, but the cycle is spinning pretty quickly. So I'm glad you brought that up, because that is something else I've observed,
Yeah.
that the cycle is spinning pretty quickly, where the rebounding part of it gets to be difficult.
Yeah. Yeah. So one thing I do remember you saying yesterday is that, but somehow you managed to pay. Somehow there are funds that come in, or you have access, or you're tapping into, somehow. And that's great. And I love the part too that you said your stress response it's neutral, right? Or your response is neutral versus maybe something more intense. So those are fantastic things. And I know you've worked on that. It's not like
Yep.
that. Yeah. So congrats to both of those. Like, we always want to congratulate ourselves for
Right.
the work we're doing and the awareness that you have, Melissa, in that cycle coming around again, like you're paying, right? So one thing I want to talk about, and I'm going to use a word that it probably doesn't resonate with you, but I want to see how this feels for you. In you sharing yesterday, the word sort of disaster experiences came to mind, because you had shared another thing that happened about a year or a year and a half ago with your car, and that was a really, really big expense. And I mean, I don't know if you don't have to share the money, but can you just share that really quickly, that experience? Because like, just to give people an idea of like, what are we talking about? And well, you shared the taxes thing, but this one, it will just further illustrate, if you don't mind, and you don't have to share the dollar amount.
Yeah, no, that's fine. It was almost a year ago now. I got stuck in a hailstorm with my brand new car. And yeah, like, I'll share the dollar amount, like, to give the impact. I was concerned they were going to total out my car. It was $7,000 worth of damage to my car. Now I have insurance, right? But like, in 10, 15 minutes, everything like kind of changed, kind of deal. So
Yeah.
those are like just like small examples of things that happen that are like really big. And wouldn't it be great if that money coming in could be used for what I want and what I truly need, as opposed to crisis management?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why I wrote the word like a
Mhm.
disaster experience. And disaster, like truly is like a flood or a house burning, like disaster, right? But this is a disaster experience because it's like, it's kind of shocking, it's unexpected. So you
Mhm.
can use a different word. You don't have to use my word. But what I want to ask you is, and you can go back to each of those moments when you heard the dollar amount. I want to tap into what did you feel in your body or what was going on in your head, like an emotion, a feeling, a sensation. I want to tap
Mm.
into that. And it doesn't have to be the same for each situation, but if you can, this is what we want to clear, right? Because there's a situation coming up, you're feeling it. So whatever you're feeling, that's an emotion that's stored in the body.
Yeah.
Make sense?
Yep, for
So if
sure.
you can tune into, you can give me a couple words for each scenario or just a couple, or like 3 or 4 for all of them. It's up to
Yeah.
you.
For sure, panic and overwhelm
Okay.
has been historical emotions. As you were, before you even set up this question for me, what dropped into my head is that I'm being punished for
Mm,
not being a good girl and towing the line. And what I mean by that is we are very much conditioned and taught that you grow up and you get a job and your job looks like this and you work this many hours and this is what you do. And when you are a single mom supporting her household all by herself, you do not quit your job unless you are 1000% certain that you are financially set. And that's not what I did. So it also feels like punishment for like going against the grain, if you will.
yeah. Yeah.
And unsupported, like by the universe. And what I have been navigating in this is unsupported by myself, like,
Hmm.
yeah.
Perfect. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So interesting that you say unsupported by you because I also wrote down yesterday you are being given
Mm-hmm.
opportunities to pay large sums, and you're capable, meaning you somehow rally, right? So the connection that was going on in my brain is, well, wouldn't it be, and I know we talked about this, wouldn't it be amazing for you to rally that money for you, for your family, for a vacation or for something fun, right? Like rallying that instead of like the universe going, we know you can come up with it. Let's give you a
Right.
test, right?
Right.
So,
Yes.
so again, good news. I want to refer back to good news is you are capable. It's just we want to flip the scenario and the script. Like we don't want to keep sending out signals to the universe. And these are like unconscious, right? Or from maybe a
Yeah.
past life or ancestral. We don't want to be sending those signals out to the universe like, all right, all right, I'm going to pay the tax bill and I'm going to do the vet bill. And then is it a day later or a week or a month? And you know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
yeah. So we want to, yeah.
And I recognize the energy around my situation that I am putting out there, if you will, not to gaslight myself, but right? Like energy attracts like energy. So if I'm in this constant like state of like worry and concern, how am I going to make this happen? Hustle, figure it out. Oh my gosh, I hope it doesn't happen again. Like that's just what I'm attracting. But also when you're in that like toilet bowl swirl, right? Like how do you step out of it? How do I get off the hamster wheel and make it stop?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because there's no ladder in the toilet bowl. It
Oh
feels
God.
like you could climb out, but you're drowning. It's
Mm-hmm.
deep. It's a well. It's not a toilet bowl. You're like,
Right.
where's the ladder? Where's the rope? Where's the human?
Yeah.
Where's the plant? Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
I hear you. Um, And Dawn is saying, OMG, all of this resonates. Yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
resonates for a lot of us. And this is why when um, Melissa told me the topic, I was like, great, because
Yeah.
everyone can relate to this for the most part, unless you are independently wealthy and you don't have any issues. But sorry to say, those people have other issues. We all have we all have something, right? There's challenges. Maybe issues is kind of a harsh word, challenges. So I'm gonna just I'm gonna jump over to the dog real quick, and then we'll go back to really quick. So again, for anyone watching that has not worked with me, or for some of you that have, this is, I bring in a lot of tools. I say that I'm doing dowsing and SuperConnection, but with a session like this, we're doing a whole bunch of things. So let me find this. Yeah, the toolbox is open, and whatever tool needs to come out is going to come out pretty much. So it's kidney stones, right? That the dog has kidney stones.
So, just really quickly. She's only 2. She's only 2 years old. Yeah. I have been in this financial strain and situation basically since I've had her. And she was recently diagnosed with kidney stones. We tried to manage them and resolve them with change in her food, which she will have forever. But ultimately, the ones that she has are too big for her to break down and pass. So she needs to have surgery to have them removed.
Okay. Yeah. And that's just, she's really young. But in any event, one of my favorite books is Heal Your Body. There's also a larger version called You Can Heal Your Life, or something like that. You Can Heal Your Life, You Can Heal Your Body. Louise Hay from Hay House. She's passed away, but she was also the founder of Hay House. Anyway, this is like a cheat sheet. This lists a bunch has physical ailments. Then we have the emotion that created the physical ailment. But over here we have the thought that creates the emotion that leads to the physical body.
Got it.
Because our thoughts, we can't touch our thoughts, but I can feel them, right? Like you can feel, like, because they come in and they're swirling around in your brain. And then if they swirl too much, if we let them marinate and take up house, then they sink into an emotion somewhere in the body, in the emotional body. And then if those linger for too long, it will land and it will manifest as a physical thing. And we can reverse that. This is something I learned in one of my trainings. If you're noticing something in the physical body, is to try to track what emotion is going on and then try to track the thought. And, something it's one of the things that I love to help people with. So kidney stones represent lumps of undissolved anger. I say this, now we're talking about the dog, and I'm sure Melissa knows this, many times, more often than not, our animals are reflecting back to us what we're holding. They are here to help us heal. A lot of times they take on cancer because there's toxicity in the home, or you might be inching towards cancer and they show up with the cancer. So like it's a message. They're really reflecting back to us what's going on.
Sure.
So for some people, they're going to think that this is kind of like hogwash and total BS, but that's fine. They really are mirroring to us. They love us, and they love us so much that they are willing to take on our stuff at the same time and absorb it so we don't have to. So does that resonate with you? Lumps of undissolved anger?
Oh, for sure.
Okay. So Louise has an affirmation, right? So it's not like, all right, well, here's the issue. This is what's going on. You're on your own. She writes, I dissolve all past problems with ease. And if you're not able to jump right over to the affirmation, I would turn it into a question. How is it easy to dissolve all problems with ease? How have I dissolved past problems with ease? How have I dissolved my past problems with support from the universe? So you can really, beef up the question. Yeah. If you're able to sit in the affirmation and just be like, I dissolve all problems with ease, and you can feel that and you're bringing it in, fantastic. Otherwise, bring in a question to help you bridge it. Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay. So we'll probably stay on for another 5 minutes because I don't want this to go on for too long. But I think I hit those key points. Is that disaster experience? What are you feeling? And then as far as the clearing, so this would be the part of the dowsing work is, so this you have dealt with this in a past life. And although I don't like go in and delve into that, I'm asking for that to be cleared. I'm asking for it right now to be cleared.
Sure.
I do have a whole chart that looks at that. There's a chart called vows, contracts, and promises. I'll go through that quickly because there have, I'm sure, vows of poverty and things like that, vows of being subservient. Like you said, you're just like, all right, well, this is what society has told me to do. This is what I'm going to do. This is what works, or this is what people tell me works. So we'll look at that quickly. And ancestrally, let me just check that for you. Okay. So on the father side, this issue or the feelings associated with it go back 20 generations. And let me check on the mother side. So on mom's side, it's 19. So I'm going to look at the next chart I'm going to look at is the vows and contracts. So I'm just going to say all the ones that I'm getting a yes on. So the question is, which vow, contract, or promise is running? And this is not just in this lifetime. I mean, we're really looking at, yeah, I'm just checking. So this is running through the ancestral line, some of these things, and other lifetimes for you. So there, whether it's you or an ancestor, there's been a vow of silence, or could be more than one, right?
Yep.
A vow of poverty, subservience. As I'm saying this, what I'm doing is clearing it. The pendulum is giving me a yes or a no. We're working on the energetic level to clear it for Melissa. And then at the very end, we'll do some more clearing of it. There was some kind of contract or vow regarding the military, employment, financial institutions, which makes sense. To take responsibility for ... That's the way it's written. So to take responsibility for my family, for my pet, or my ailing parents. I mean, you fill in the blank.
Sure.
Another one, and this one doesn't surprise me, is you either took a vow or contract to never be poor, cold, or hungry, because you were at some point, so you made a vow in the next life, never, or there was a life where circumstances, maybe you took a vow to always be either poor, cold, or hungry. So it's not like you woke up and you were like, I want to be poor, cold, or hungry. But there might have just been circumstances that you were born into or experienced. And then the mind just is like, well, this is just my situation. I can't get out of it.
Okay.
One around starvation, to put others before the self. All right. So I am asking for all of these vows, contracts, and promises to be revoked for completion. And I do ask if it's, I do ask what percentage cleared for this piece, and I'm getting 100% for you. On the money chart, Melissa, and this might be the last thing that I cover, is on the money chart, I got a yes on that there's always another crisis waiting to happen.
Right.
Yeah. So the affirmation for that, because we want to clear that. What we're doing is we are wanting to clear this, whether it's ancestral, past life, a vow, contract, or promise, a limiting belief in Melissa's, thoughts right now. Just something she picked up from someone when she was younger, family, doesn't really matter. Like a limiting belief is a limiting belief. It's nice if we can trace it back. So we just know the origin so we don't keep repeating it. But
Yeah.
really, the truth is we just want to clear it.
Yeah.
So in that statement, that there's always another crisis waiting to happen, and we're clearing that. The affirmation is I joyfully focus on creating the life I want.
Mm.
And if you need that in a sentence, it's how do I joyfully focus on creating the life that I want? Or why is it easy? Why is it easy to joyfully focus? So you see how it shifts from it, there's the word joy in there, creating the life I want, versus having to pay the next big ass bill that comes knocking on the door, pretty much.
Right.
Um, so I'm also going to give you these. I release my fear of not having enough money daily.
Mm-hmm.
I have the power to change my life. And the last one is money flows effortlessly into my life.
Mm.
So you can play with those if you want. It's up to you.
Mm-hmm.
Just a little extra.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm going to do the clearing part of SuperConnection for her, and we'll wrap up after that. So this is a mini session. It's kind of like not a crash course, but like this is
Yeah.
normally I would work with somebody for an hour, and especially with money, it's definitely an hour, and it could be multiple sessions. Just
Yeah.
yeah. So the first thing we're going to clear, and these are the fear-based emotions that are held in you, in the limiting beliefs, in the ancestral line, in the past life stuff. It's just going to pick up everything, cover everything. So we're releasing low self-esteem, shame, pain, shock, control, jealousy, revenge, and distrust. And I just at the end of that say transmute and reboot. We want to transmute that energy. Okay, so if you want to take a nice deep breath in and out, just to let that go. And then we're going to fill you up with security, helpfulness. I'm not even making these words up, they're right in my chart. Success, consideration,
Mm.
delight, trust, worth. All right, how about we'll end on courage. That's a nice one to end on. And I'm getting that cleared at 100% for you. I mean, I'm just getting this, I might even just say to the universe, I'm done with these unexpected,
Mm,
I'm just done. Like I got my lesson, I got it. I don't need to run around and pay these big bills while I'm struggling. Like I'm done. Thank you for the lesson. Thank you. You know, if you need another lesson, it can be in the form of $100. You know, like
right.
I'm done. Thank you. You know,
I'm glad that you said that because throughout our conversation, like that thought basically popped into my head is like, I am a completely different person. And I shared with you yesterday, like, I noted the time in the last few weeks where like I went from totally panicking about these things and having meltdowns and then had like this huge clearing and release literally happen. And then ever since then is when I noticed this neutrality. So like to me, that was like a very pivotal moment. So it's like, can we just be done now? So I'm glad that you like said that and like helped declare that because that is very much like I am very much open to continuing to learn lessons and grow and evolve and understand myself, but does it have to be in a way that's like so hard, so painful? I struggle so much, like that sort of thing.
yeah. And this is something for you too. Like, you know, you can look at this piece on your own. Is it's a first chakra thing. It's a survival thing. It's feeling that you're safe and that things will be provided for, that you'll have enough food on the table, that you'll have a roof over your head. So I know that you do this work. Maybe you can and look at that piece and see where there might be leaks or anything like that that you want to. And you're wearing red, the color of the first chakra. So that's great. Um, yeah, so I do want to say to people that it's not a quick fix. So many of us are dealing with lack of finances, and especially now, prices have gone up everywhere. Like the fact that gas went up, everything you buy has gone up because of the transportation costs, and just because, right? Like they can say inflation. Okay, I mean,
Right.
whatever, whatever. Prices have gone up. So, but are we still making the same? A lot of us, yeah,
Hmm.
right. So, um, I'm saying this in the sense that I don't want to mislead people and say you're going to have one session with me and you're going to win the lottery and things are going to start rolling uphill.
Right.
They can. There's energy shifts, there's awareness shifts, there's clearing that's very profound. But I really don't want to be misleading in that. So what are some of the takeaways that you got today, or did you feel anything in your body move or shift? Did you have any ahas?
Really great questions. So, when you had me take after that clearing and refilling, if you will, when you had me take that deep breath, like as I like released it, I did feel like this just like calm, almost like warmth, like kind of envelop me in that like moment of that breath. Um, Definitely the whole I'm done with having to learn my lessons this way. Like I get it. I am very self-aware. Like I get it. Like let's just like we're done. I love that that was super powerful. And the other thing that I want to just like share for the benefit of your audience is one of the things that I have noticed in working with Anastasia in the past with the methods that she uses of energy clearing and releasing and understanding ourselves deeper is that the shifts are subtle but powerful. And the way that they show up for me is when another situation that I normally maybe would be triggered in pops up, I see it and I was like, oh, wait a minute. I normally would have responded like this, but this time I didn't. They show up in a way where it's just like this little aha, and like the best way I can describe it is like you see it with more clarity and neutrality. Like it's not if it maybe triggered you to a 10 before, maybe it only triggers you to a 5 and your goal is like a 2, right? So yeah, just want to share that overall in my previous experiences and working with you is the shifts um they're subtle but they're powerful, and also you may not necessarily notice them right away because we're clearing how do I want to like say this, it's like filing away the rough edges, and until another situation presents itself, you may not necessarily notice it because now you're just generally less triggered about it. Yeah.
And that's huge, right? I think
Mhm.
it's huge because even though we may want the situation to completely resolve, when those emotions get re-triggered, now we're back in that. We're just swimming in those emotions again. And when you told me yesterday that you're neutral, I was like,
Yep.
wow. Like, wow. When you told me the amounts, I was like, damn, girl.
Yeah, because when I shared with a friend, she was like, "You seem way more okay about this than I would expect." And she's like, "Are you like numb?" And I was like, "No, this really sucks. Like, I'm not going to deny that, but it is what it is, and I'll figure it out. And there's really no point in me ruminating on this anymore. Like, it gets me nowhere."
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Yeah. But that's huge, Melissa. I mean, that to me is, we all want to respond from a neutral place like that and not get re-triggered and not sort of, it's like you've got your trigger, you've got your wound, and now and now you've like
yeah,
created another wound on top. So now it's a
yep.
deeper wound, right? So now it's like, now you're almost like you've just freeze because you're like, crap.
Mhm.
I couldn't even manage the first wound. I wasn't like taking care of that. And now it's just a bigger cavity, right? And again, I learned this many years ago that the universe does not want us to suffer. God,
Right.
source, whatever you call it, the wounds are there, they're there, and they're there for us to heal. So when they get re-triggered, it's like the universe saying, please look at this again.
Yeah.
And when we don't, the way I describe it is the monster gets louder, smellier,
Yep.
hairier, uglier,
Yep.
scarier, right? Like it just gets louder. So it's like, well, let's look at it. Let's befriend
Yep.
it. Let's welcome it in. What what do you want to tell me about my money situation?
Yep.
Come on in, money. Let's talk. Let's talk about how I feel about you. Am, am I always worried that I'm never going to have enough? So let me end on this. This is very powerful. To that point, if we're always worried that we're never going to have enough, that is literally what we're broadcasting out to the
Yep.
universe. And it's energy. It's all energy. Whether or not you believe it or not, it's like we're holograms and we're just like throwing energy out and the universe is matching. It's like, oh, you think you're deserving? We agree. Or you don't think you're
Yes.
deserving? We agree. Now, I hate that because I'm like, are you serious? Right? I'm a good
Right.
person. And you're basically like, we agree. Whatever I think or say or feel about myself, they're basically like, it's like a mirror. We
Yes.
agree. So if I feel unworthy situations and people and opportunities are
Yes.
going to show up. So in my one of my trainings years ago, it's unlimited body, so it was a body work, and I was thinking about this last night after I spoke with you. It was 2 grand for the program, and we met for 6 months. So we met 6 weekends, like one weekend a month. And I was trying to do the math because it's like back then, because I did it quite some time ago, like 20 years ago, I had to save up for the 2 grand. And we could pay in installments, so that was nice. But 2 grand was a bit, you know,
Yeah.
I had to save up for it. Well, inevitably, and I took the program twice, not back to back, but I took it twice. And the teacher, I remember him specifically saying somebody was going to come, somebody like was going to come or put a deposit down and then backed out at the last minute, like with each program that he ran. But then he told us a story of how this happened to somebody a different time. And he said, they had like their furnace or something break in the house. And he's like, and guess how much it was for?
Mm.
The 2 grand. And then another person, same thing. They wanted to sign up and they didn't. And then they had a car expense, 2 grand.
Mm.
So it's like you're wanting to do something. The universe hears you. I want to do this. It's 2 grand, right? I'm going to kind of go fast here. It's 2 grand. And the mind goes, but I don't have it. I don't have it. I don't deserve it. Blah, blah, whatever, blah, blah, blah. Well, the universe gives you the car expense for 2 grand. And it's
Sure.
like, you said you didn't have it, but now you have to come up with it,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So I just want us to sort of be mindful of, and a lot of these thoughts are completely unconscious. We're not even aware we're running, they're
Right.
programs, or they're in the family, they're in the ancestral lineage,
Yeah.
or they're from a past life. And you thought, well, that's my past life. what does that have to do with me today?
Right.
Well, it was unresolved and it was unhealed. And so we bring it forward again to heal it. It's not a punishment. It's
Yes.
an opportunity. It may feel painful, and oftentimes it does, but it's an opportunity. And I know you
Yeah.
know that. I know you're
Yep.
in it right now, so it's easy for me to like say, but it's easy for me to say it's an opportunity, and I know you're dealing with it with so much grace. I'm so happy to know you and
Thank
to
you.
watch you, and I know you're gonna soar. So
Yeah. Thank you. This was awesome and really great, like really great conversation like around it. Like, yeah. So thank you.
is there anything that you want to end with? And I do thank you for sharing with the folks that are watching that it is
Yeah.
energetic, it is working vibrationally, it is working on, I don't want to say strictly a subtle level, because some people have like massive shifts in real time working
Yeah.
with me, and some people will say, oh my god, this situation like 3 days later completely changed.
Yep.
But for some people it is a more subtle thing, and they notice, like you said, these little things later, like they're able to respond with less charge around
Yeah.
things. So
Yeah.
anything that you want to share in closing?
I don't think so. I mean, your last few like shares were like really powerful, honestly. Like one, just remembering like, yes, some of this stuff is thoughts that we like very, very consciously have. But a lot of it is just programming and conditioning and stuff that like it is happening in the background and it shows up in less obvious ways. And so just the more we begin to understand ourselves and the patterns that show up in our lives, the more we can unpack it, untangle it, and do something about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Tomorrow I'm going to keep it to 20 minutes because the flower essence information doesn't need to be long by
Yep.
any means. So I'll keep it to the 20. And same thing with the tapping with the numbers on Tuesday night. So
Yeah.
I appreciate Dawn, I think is still here, and we're really appreciative. I hope that this is helpful for folks that are watching the replay. And thank you so much, Melissa. I feel
Yes.
really
Thank you.
honored to have you.
Thank you. Thank you for offering. And I look forward to what tomorrow brings.
Awesome. All right.
All
I'll
right.
see you tomorrow.
Yes.
You want
Take
to
care.
stay on? You want to stay on for a couple minutes with me?
Yeah.
Okay.
For
All right.
sure.
Bye, everyone.